Nothing scary ever happens in a small town. That's what we like to tell ourselves. Where I live, the biggest drama used to be late homework or a fight at the diner. Then, last winter, 4 kids in this town started smiling in their sleep. Not cute, sleepy smiles. These were stiff, stretched, and wrong. Their eyes glowed blue in the dark. People said it was a phase, a prank, too much internet. They stopped saying that when the kids began standing at the ends of their parents' beds at 3 a.m., just staring. I know it sounds fake. I didn't believe it either, until the night one of them smiled at me. It started when he showed up. We didn't get a new neighbor or a new teacher. We got a man who stood at the old bus stop and never seemed to leave. Tall, too thin, back perfectly straight, like he was pinned there. He never checked the phone, never smoked, never talked. He just watched people pass and smiled. Adults pretended not to see him. That's the thing about grown-ups. We're experts at ignoring what freaks us out. The kids noticed, though. One girl in aftercare told me, the man at the bus place smiles wrong. His eyes forgot how to blink. I laughed it off. I shouldn't have. The first kid was Liam Parker, 8 years old. Loud, restless, always narrating his own life. One Tuesday, he walked home from school. His route passed the bus stop. A neighbor said Liam slowed near the man, then froze. The stranger tilted his head toward him, slow, like a puppet on a rusty string. No one saw them speak. No one saw them move. But when Liam's front door opened, he just stood there, backpack still on, shoes still tied, staring straight ahead, and smiling. Liam, his mom asked, "You okay?" Nothing. He walked to the middle of the living room, still grinning at nothing. When his dad grabbed his shoulders, Liam blinked like someone hit play again. They asked what happened. He smiled at me first, Liam said. So I smiled back. They tried to laugh it off. Weird kid moment, long day. That lasted until 2:17 a.m. Liam's mom woke to a feeling, that heavy pressure of being watched. She opened her eyes. Liam stood in the doorway, bare feet, pajamas. Same stretched grin. His eyes were glowing. Not bright like a flashlight, soft, sick blue, like something lit from inside. "Liam," she whispered. He didn't answer. He didn't move. She fumbled for the lamp. The light snapped on. The glow vanished. Liam blinked, confused. "Mom, why are you scared?" He didn't remember getting out of bed. He didn't remember the doorway, but the smile prints stayed, like fingerprints on her brain. If it had just been Liam, maybe nobody would have talked. But by the end of the week, there were 3 more. Emma Rivera came home silent. She spent that night sitting on her bed, staring at her closet, smiling until her cheeks shook. Jaden Holloway's brother found him in the laundry room, nose almost touching the wall, grinning at chipped paint. Nia Collins started humming, all the time, in the car. At dinner, in her sleep, her dad asked, "You stuck on a song, kiddo?" Mia tilted her head, still smiling. "It's not my song," she said. All 4 kids had one thing in common. Their walk home past the bus stop. All 4 said the same thing about the stranger. His eyes are too blue. I work aftercare on Fridays, so I had all 4 of them in the same room. Normally, they never sat together. Different grades, different friends. That day, they shared one table, heads bent low, whispering. I walked past and glanced down at their paper. It wasn't a house, or a dog, or a stick figure family. They'd filled the whole page with eyes. Big eyes, tiny eyes. Eyes with cracks splitting off like lightning. Every single one was colored bright blue. "Whoa," I joked. "What are we drawing? 4 little voices perfectly flat. His eyes." "Whose?" I asked. "The man at the bus stop," Mia said. "He's not staying there anymore," Jaden added. "He's closer now." The school called a quiet meeting. No flyers, no announcements, just 4 sets of parents, the principal, and me. They looked wrecked, red eyes. Shaky hands. Liam's mom went first. "He stands in our room at night," she said. "Sometimes we wake up, and he's already there. We don't hear him walk in. He's just there, smiling." Emma's dad said she'd started sleeping sitting up, back straight, eyes closed. Grin locked in place. Mia's mom played a recording. Breathing. Then a low humming too deep for a little girl. "That's her at 3 a.m., she whispered. "We found her facing her closet, smiling at the door." They all turned to me. Had I noticed anything? I thought about the blue eyes on paper, the synchronized voices. "I'm sure it's a phase," I lied. "We'll watch them closely." 3 nights later, all 4 kids disappeared. No broken locks, no open windows, no footprints in the snow outside. Each parent woke up with that same heavy feeling. The house was too quiet. No humming, no tiny feet. They checked the beds. Empty, blankets pushed aside, like the kids had just stepped out for a second. The front doors were still locked from the inside, chains still hooked. If they didn't open the doors, how did the kids get out? I got 3 panicked calls before the sheriff did. By sunrise, I was standing at the edge of the woods near the bus stop. 4 small shapes stood in the snow, lined up perfectly, barefoot in thin pajamas. Liam, Emma, Jaden, Nia. They weren't shivering. They weren't crying. They were staring into the trees and smiling. Their eyes glowed blue in the gray morning, so bright the color bounced off the frost. The sheriff called their names. They didn't blink, didn't move. Then their heads turned all at once toward a deeper patch of trees. I followed their gaze. Between 2 trunks I saw him. Tall, too straight, head tilted. Even in shadow, I knew. He was smiling. When I saw him, something pressed against my mind. It felt like being shoved underwater. Sounds went muffled. Colors went cold. I wanted to smile. Not because I was happy, but because it felt easier than fighting it. Like relaxing a cramped muscle. For a second, I felt my own cheeks twitch. "Hey, you okay?" A deputy grabbed my arm. The pressure snapped. I staggered back, gasping. When I looked up, the man was gone. The kids blinked in perfect unison, like someone flipped a switch. Their knees buckled and they collapsed into the snow, sobbing. They didn't remember walking there, didn't remember the line. But when one officer asked what they did remember, Mia whispered, "He smiled at us again." The official story was sleepwalking incident. The sheriff didn't mention glowing eyes in his report. The school told us not to feed rumors. Parents added extra locks, bought baby monitors, burned through coffee and prayer. Days passed. The kids went back to class. On the surface, things got normal again. Almost. Liam flinched whenever someone said the word smile. Emma refused to sit near windows after dark. Jaden kept checking reflections, like he expected someone behind him. Mia still hummed, but now it sounded like she was humming along with something only she could hear. I told myself it was over. Whatever that man was, whatever he wanted, he'd had his fun and left. Then I walked past the bus stop alone. It was after school, sun starting to drop. The street was quiet. I told myself I wasn't going to look. Just walk, keys in hand, eyes forward. I looked. He was there. Same place as before, tall. Still, this time, there were no kids. No witnesses. Just him and me. Our eyes met. The world washed blue at the edges. My jaw tightened, then relaxed into a smile I did not want. Inside my skull I heard a voice, not out loud, not my own. "You've been watching them," it said. "Good. Now I'll watch you." I don't remember the walk home. I only remember waking up on my couch, face aching like I'd been grinning for hours. In the hallway mirror, my reflection looked normal. Until I blinked and, just for a heartbeat, my eyes glowed blue. This stopped being just the kid's story the moment he smiled at me. If you're hearing this, you survived. The Unsafe Zone closes. For now.